Hey you guys, it's me, Jeremy. I'm showing you guys another Total War video. This time it is Napoleon Total War. I'm playing the Sunken Jungle map on a custom battle. I'm playing as the Prussians against what I believe is the British. We're just going to assume I'm playing against the British. So as you can see, the map's very wide, a lot of mountainous terrain, lots of forests. And I have several artillery units, about 4, and most of them are horse mobile, so I can move them, thankfully. So my goal is to take the high ground right about around here, then also right just in front of this pond. That way, as soon as the enemy troops pour over from the hilltops and the ridge lines, I can start opening up on them. But ahead of everything else, I'm going to go ahead and send my infantry to secure a line. That way it'll be safe for my cavalry and for my artillery to come up. Oops, I was wrong. I'm actually playing the French, not the British. Okay, it would appear that they're sending their entire line forward. I went into the liberty of deciding to use my cavalry as an advanced scouting unit. That way I know it's safe for my infantry to go ahead and move ahead. I haven't started moving yet, but give it a minute. I'm showing this battle in replay mode, that way I can narrate a little bit better. General unit, and some artillery, some 2 cavalry units here on the left, and now it would appear that I'm finally getting in line here. I'm setting my light foot in first so they can set up some stakes and guard that flank while they take guerrilla positions, or I guess you could say where they can take cover. And obviously deployment doesn't factor much into this map because it's all about the positions you take during the battle. So for now, I'm just racing as fast as I can to get to the top. But I gotta make sure I don't tire my troops out too quickly. Musketeers are going forward ahead. And meanwhile, my cavalry is still laying behind. Jaegers are coming in over here. For now, it appears that the AI is doing its typical tradition of just setting up a whole long line. One of the things about Total War, like Empire and Napoleon, is that whoever has the longest line usually has the general advantage, which kind of takes away from strategy, but you can't do much about it. But in this case, that's why I chose this map, because this pond directly interrupts the line, where it doesn't matter who has the longest line, and it matters who can take which flank the fastest. So as you can see here, my line is just about established, with some reserve units in the center here. They really don't play too much of a vital role at the moment. And now I'm sending my cavalry up to this hilltop here as a reconnaissance. Meanwhile, the enemy cavalry is coming in. I'm not sure whose artillery that was. Let me check. Okay, I think that was enemy artillery because that just hurt some morale of more of my musketeer units. Now the formation's set up, I can go ahead and send the general unit up, but I'll probably wait a little bit longer. And I also have one more reserve musketeer unit. I actually ended up forgetting about that one until later in the battle. Meanwhile, these guys over here are still moving up. But they're taking their time. There's no real need yet. The enemy infantry hasn't reached my line yet. Enemy cavalry is getting in pretty close. I'll let my infantry take some hits out of them, but I can't hope to stall them up for too long with that. But at the same time, their morale has taken a hit. These troops can just absorb them and hold them off for a little while, buy me some time, get the line better established. It would appear here that I'm going to go ahead and guess this is where the enemy is going to concentrate at, because the most open, less rugged ground. So as you can see, I've put a majority of my troops here. I haven't made a secondary line yet, though, because I want to make sure that everything here is still safe, even though I still have some artillery units here that will provide cover, which still haven't been deployed yet. I went ahead and sent my cavalry in to lend some assistance to my guerrilla unit. I don't want them to get completely wiped out just yet. I want to use them as a picket line. The enemy's still taking its lovely time advancing. It's taking a while. I'd like them to hurry up. We're going to go ahead and fast forward that. Meanwhile, I'm still obviously winning this duel. 3 of my cavalry units against 1 cavalry unit. Now I went ahead and finally started to deploy my artillery here on this ridgeline. There's not many spots where they'd be able to escape it. Running? Where y'all running from? Oh, these guys. Okay. But that's alright. My infantry finally made it up there. They can now lend some assistance. Now we've all but won that first engagement. Now we just have to wait for the first line to get here. And that would be it right there. It's approaching. But it would appear that more are approaching en masse than I originally anticipated on my left flank. So I'm gonna go have to see if I can hold them off with what I have for now. Then maybe I'll transfer some units over. With my 2 artillery units, one facing this direction and the other facing out that way. But I can concentrate both of them wherever I need. At the moment, this one still has not been deployed yet. I still have a majority of all 3 of my cavalry units, so that can still be used to stall the enemy advance, but I can't just charge the line because there's too many infantry units here that would just wipe them out. I don't want to waste them. I want to make good use of them. I'll probably lose them in the end, but I just want to make good use of them. Just imagine how nice this battle would be if the entire map was open. Which, technically, I guess it is, but we all know the battle was designed to take place in the center. And we're waiting, and we're waiting. And this is in fast forward, too. So we just have line after line after line of men coming up to my line. See how it holds. Look at their regular units with a grenadier, or how you pronounce that. Grenadier units, I like to call them that. And now my artillery is finally starting to open up on them. I think now would be a good time to go ahead and play it. So this unit here is going to be guarding my flank in case any enemy cavalry come around. To be able to stall them up and turn and give the line a chance to turn if anything bad happens. The enemy is still yet to come out of the forest, which makes it hard for me to take them out, but most of my units are still in the forest too, so it makes it hard for them to hit mine. And there goes my artillery and my infantry units laying in on them. Most musket combat won't be conducted that well since there's a force between the both of us as a buffer, so it's just going to interrupt the line of fire. So the best thing to do might just be to engage him with melee. Meanwhile, my artillery is still doing a very good job. Well, decent job. And the enemy general's right behind them to keep the morale high. Which doesn't sit too well with me. So if I can take him out, that would definitely help me, because they're outnumbering me on that line. Meanwhile here, everything seems to be holding just fine. My cavalry, I mean not cavalry, with my artillery laying in. Although it appears they might be off a little bit, they might need to zero in a little bit better on that one. Okay, now we're gonna go back over here. And now some of my units are taking a morale shock here. And not to mention they've already taken sustained casualties from the last cavalry engagement. My cavalry units went ahead and engaged another infantry unit. This is the lead infantry unit. And yep, my men are routing. And I still have one more cavalry unit left, and 2 infantry units to stall them up here, keep the line from extending. Hopefully, if I can, I'll swing around, pour into the forest, and hit them. And now my artillery seems to really get some good hits going here. Lots of crossfire lines everywhere, so it's gonna get obliterated. It won't take long. They're gonna try to rush my line, it appears, but I don't think that's gonna work. Generally, the AIs just don't behave too smartly in these kind of battles. But I wanted to go ahead and give it a shot and see how it would go down. But it appears that my line is definitely in danger here because well, look at all these French units just pouring in, pouring in. I mean, this unit here still got the morale up because the general just arrived, I believe. And my artillery is going to focus on them there, so that helps. But roughly only 1 unit, or now 2, holding them off. That's melee combat going on down there. Can't even hardly tell what unit is mine. So this flank has pretty much been under control. So I'm gonna have to take some units away from this area here. Bring them up here. If I can in time, otherwise the gap will be widened and they're just gonna pour through and flank me. Meanwhile, my artillery can still use some canister shot against them, which will help, but it's only gonna buy time. It won't completely shatter the enemy units. The general's gonna go over there. I'm sending him there to give him a morale boost. I gotta make sure he doesn't get in the way of the artillery and like that. It looks like they charged another one of my units here. They tried to lengthen the line a little bit, but I had sent a cavalry charge there. So I prevented them from lengthening the line. What they did was, I think it's pretty obvious, they tried to send more units over here to keep my reserves and my support units to close in on them from here. So once this flank is completely secure, I can send these guys down there. And now as you can see, I'm sending more units this way to confront them here, to meet them. If they didn't go for my artillery, I'd be surprised. I think they might try to charge that up. So now they're gonna try to establish a line so they can start firing. Meanwhile, over here, I'm taking a cavalry charge hit, and it doesn't look to be going all that well for me.
Our men are running, sir.
Yep, they're routing now. But over here, I can just transfer what's left over here to take these guys out. And then also, we have another enemy infantry unit. Along with this over here, the line should hold fine. It's the line right here that I'm concerned about. The general unit's still alive, and morale's going low. Artillery can't seem to get too many good hits at the moment. And on top of that, a couple of infantry units are stalling me up here, so I can't break through and support. While an enemy cavalry unit is still surviving. Now they're gonna charge in and offer more support to my troops that are in melee engagement. And now this would be a great time to send some reserves in. But to be honest with you, I wasn't clever enough to actually put them up on the line. And thankfully they're grenadiers, so I can just blank fire on them. That was a decent artillery hit. And there go the grenades. Let's see how those hits go. Oh yeah, that really helped. The enemy cavalry has just done a very good job of pulling me up. It's kept me from sending support and reinforcements to the spots that need it the most. But now it would appear that this line has effectively held. So now they're retreating. The gap is somewhat been plugged for the moment, and they don't have any reserves to bring up. So now it would appear that the situation is not as dangerous. For whatever reason, my Russians are just gonna flee in the direction of the enemy. That doesn't seem to make sense. The other major flaw I see in the enemy is that they haven't taken advantage of their artillery. They could have brought it up and offered support to their units, because I have plenty right out here in the open that they can just score tons of hits with, but I guess they just didn't want to use it. So the line here is holding, but it looks like they're trying to reestablish. Another good artillery hit going there. Good morale shock. The melee duel in the forest is still going on, and we're going to look at who's winning that one. It would appear that I'm going to be the victor there also. So the line's been plugged now, and it's secure. Artillery's still intact, and I still have enough infantry to go ahead and move up. Although, not nothing to move up to over there. That flank is completely secure. So now I'm just gonna get them to set up there. Go ahead and move up into the forest line. And now their artillery seems to be making some effect. It's raining over. They could be using howitzers. Oh, 8-foot artillery. Or 8-pounders. And now one of my fleeing units is, for whatever reason, rallied, and now they're coming back. This puts them in a good position. They can stay there and keep the enemies from routing towards them and keep them in line, where I can just take them from every single side. No, they're going for the artillery. And my general unit is still doing fine. And now it would appear that we've cleared them out of the forest. They've been pushed back, or pushed completely out. So now I'm just going to reestablish my line. All the enemy units seem to be retreating except for the artillery, so I just kind of mop that up and the battle is won. Alright guys, so that does it for this battle. It was a little bit longer than my last Shogun one, but that's what comes with playing Napoleon. The maps are larger, terrain's bigger, unit sizes take longer times to move and to play, but all still just as fun. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Y'all have a good one.